Hey, it's Terrie Carr, and thanks for checking out my web series. I bring in the artists and we chat. New artists, classics, and everyone in between. In this episode, guitar master and longtime friend Gary Hoey joins me. We talk about his first record in 6 years, Avalanche, loss, gratitude, and 30 years of Ho Ho Hoey. Let's go. So when I click on my Zoom link and I get to see the face and the guitar of Gary Hoey, it's always a great day for me. You know, I've known you for a very long time. It's funny how we've known each other 30 years, and yet I like to say we're both 32 years old.
Yes, we both don't age.
Well, you definitely do not age. You look incredible. You're sounding better than ever. Brand new record, first release in 6 years. Avalanche is out. Where do I start? I want to start by my first impression. You know, I don't want to read anything that anyone sent me about the record. When I get a streaming link, and I got it a little bit early, I want to pop it on and I want to get my first impression, and then I want to cross promote what I see. And my first impression was, wow, there's this new energy and Gary is rocking out hard, because there's some songs on this record that are definitely a little bit heavier.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I would say back to my rock roots, 100%. You know, I love rock and roll. I love rock. I grew up on rock. And yeah, this album, I guess, you know, going through losing my mom a couple of years ago. My mom passed away, and, you know, I was taking care of her for a couple of years. I was her caretaker. And then I lost my sister a few months before my mom to cancer, my younger sister. So I went through what a lot of families, you know, go through, just the loss of family members. So it kind of sent me for a loop a little bit. So when I got to writing this record, I felt like I had been through an avalanche, you know, like I had been hit with so many things at once that I kind of never hadn't felt like that in a long, long time. You know, had that felt kind of that feeling of loss, and it affected my music, and it took me a while to get back my mojo, I guess you'll call it. So when I sang Avalanche, I can hear it in my voice. I really mean what I'm singing, you know.
Yeah, your voice sounds incredible too on this record. I was like, whoa. And I'm like, Gary's singing.
Thank you.
This is not another vocalist that's brought in for this. Well, I want to talk about this. Listen, I followed you on social media for a really long time, and we did some Zooms, you know, during COVID when everybody was locked down and artists started Zooming and stuff. And I always followed you and your mom. So mom was very special. Mom wasn't necessarily that you were just, you know, taking care of her or visiting her here and there. She became a part of your social media landscape. You did coffee times with mom and days with mom. And so everybody kind of knew mom. And,
Yeah.
you know, she was a big part of your life. And then to see, I mean, talk about an avalanche. And I was going to ask you about the title. And then to see you losing your sister unexpectedly. I mean, there was one day you announced, my sister's battling cancer.
Yeah.
Think good thoughts for her. And you lost her as well. These are two people that were so close to you. This is very hard to come out the other side and be as positive a person as you are. Again, I follow you, so I see you kind of have these like almost affirmations. Certain artists have that, and I love it. You know, Jacoby from Papa Roach is very much like that on social media. Just sort of like, hey, here's what I'm going to do to live positively today. Hope you're going to have a day like mine. How the hell do you stay positive when you had every right to be angry? I'm going in a hole and I'm not coming out. Give us a little bit of insight, because I think we could all use that.
Thank you so much. You know what? I think it is a mindset, you know, because everything in life starts with a mindset. You know, I always say mind, body, music. You know, it starts with your mind, then it goes to your body, and then for me, it goes to music. So if you let those dark things just keep coming in, then that will manifest. But if you say, you know what? I lost my mom, I lost my sister, you know, I can have some hard moments, but I can't live most of my moments in a dark place. I need to get up. I need to move. I need to talk to my friends. I need to cry. I need to laugh. I need to do everything. But I have to stay motivated. And some of that is by exercising, you know, just getting up and walking and feeling alive and just doing things like that. Because sometimes when we feel depressed, we don't want to move. We just want to stay still. So if you want to fight the dark times, get up and move, call a friend. So I do some of that, and that really helps me a lot. And my music, you know, like writing the songs on this record really helped me to get through losing my family members. And then probably a couple years in after my mom passed away, I lost my entire album. I came to the studio one day
I read that and everything was gone.
and everything was gone, and
Oh,
my hard drive disappeared. I mean, just was not there.
oh.
So I wasn't backing things up while I was taking care of my mother. I got very careless, and so I had a company help me try to retrieve some of the data. I did get some of it back, but I had to re-record most of it,
Oh, yeah.
re-sing most of it, and it turned out better because I had to go back and just do it again. And I think it maybe was a blessing in a disguise, but that was another delay. And so I have to tell you, when I was in that dark place, when I didn't have my album, I just thought, oh my Lord, you took my mother, my sister, now you took my album. I was never more tested as a human being.
I was
That
going to say that test after test
Yeah,
after test. How do you
yeah.
come out of that on the other side?
Yeah, I just kept saying, you know what, Gary, you have your music, you have your passion, you got to do it, and I'm not going to lie, it took me a while to find it. I literally lost my mojo. I've heard people say that, but I didn't know what it meant. But I couldn't feel music. I was playing like a robot, and I kept digging. I kept digging and digging, and just waking up every day, and like you said, going on social media and telling everybody, have an attitude of gratitude, because if you lose people, then living life has never been more important. I'm telling you, because they want to see you live life, and you need to live life because this is the only shot we get. So that, losing my sister, and then having my niece, her daughter, come in and sing on a song called Dear Mama. We both looked at each other, and she said, I lost my mom and you lost your mom.
Ah,
So we both realized at that moment we both had lost our mothers. And we cried a little bit, but we laughed, and we just said, this is a celebration. So that's what this album is for me. And I hope people can get something from it because it was helpful to me. And I'm really proud of this record. It's a real family affair for me. It really
it
is.
is a family affair, and I love your band. I want to talk about your band. Do you want to play? Because you have your guitar, so
Yeah.
we're gonna play.
Yeah, I wanted to play a little bit of just the riff for Avalanche. I don't know if
I
it's
would
gonna,
love
if
for
it's
you to
gonna.
play, and then we can come back and talk about this band and the family affair and the labor of love with your fam.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. So let me. So this is the main riff. And that's got kind of I don't know, like a rock and roll Led Zeppelin sort of Bad Company feel, but that was what I came up with initially was the riff. And I'll play another riff. There's a song called Unstoppable that is
I
a
love
song.
that track. I love that. It's like one of my favorite tracks on the record.
Oh, thank you so
So
much.
good.
Its song is about it's about people, realizing that to be unstoppable, we need to have other people with us helping us. And I think sometimes that I achieve all these great things and on my own, and I'm so badass. But it's really about the people around us that make us unstoppable. So you have to remember that and credit the people with you. So that's the riff. Here it goes. I love that part.
Oh God, I love it. And you mentioned, well, that's perfect because you mentioned, yeah, it's got like a little bit of a Zeppelin-esque or Bad Company feel because your roots in the blues are definitely heard. But it's kind of like a Gary 2.0 where things are just, kind of amped up to 55. And I love it. And it's just it just has this great fresh energy about it. So let's talk about the family affair. And the video for Avalanche is great because I see you. Here's the cool thing. And I'm not trying to stroke you, I swear. But you've got this young band behind you. Your son is playing with you, and you don't look any older than these amazing young, kids, dare I say it, that are playing behind you. The band looks like it fits so well. So talk to me about the people in your band.
Yeah, I know. I'm surrounded by 20-year-olds,
It's
Terry.
awesome, and
Um,
you look 30.
It's so funny. I love you. But yeah, the drummer is Leah Bluestein.
She's so good. Oh
And
my
she's
God.
amazing. And she plays with Eagles of Death Metal also, who I love.
Phenomenal. Yeah.
And she's a beast. She's just a beast. She's a Berkeley College graduate. I've known her. I love her. I've known her since she was 13. And her mom and her family came to the rock and roll fantasy camp one time, and I heard her play drums. And
No.
fast forward 10 years, and she's like, "Hey Gary, I heard you're looking for a drummer." And I'm like, "Okay, let's see what you got, kid." And oh my goodness, she sends me a video of like her playing Tom Sawyer by Rush or something, and I'm like,
Such
okay,
an easy song to play.
yeah, such an easy song for her audition. So I'm like, oh my goodness. So she's all the do as good as she really is. And then the bass player Mike is her fiance. Actually, they're going to get married, and he's another guy in his 20s who's just a monster. And it's funny you said I look young. They have brought this young energy to me. They have given me this sort of new life, and obviously having my son next to me on stage because he's been touring with me. Losing my mom and my sister, he has been such a light in my life to have
Oh,
my kid
so
with
special. Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
love that.
And being able to share that with him. I am seeing like this whole group of father sons musicians these days. I had Jason Bonneman to the studio, and he had his son Jagger Henry, who's a musician now. I had this new band Return to Dustin. Slash's son is in that band. We see everything that Wolfgang Van Halen is doing. It's so beautiful to see. I just talked to Gene Simmons, and his son Nick Simmons is going to get a record deal. It's so awesome to see this next generation of music, coming out and wanting to be a part of this whole scene.
No, it really is. It's taking the legacy of their families, their
Yep.
parents, and I hate to say the family business, but continuing the family business, and even like my friend Devin Allman, Dwayne Betts,
Oh,
um,
so
keep,
so great. Yeah.
keeping that music alive. Neil Sean's son is also super talented.
Super talented. Yeah.
So what's great is, for me as a father and as a rock musician, I've been touring for 40 years. When my kid was very young, my son and my daughter, I sometimes would miss certain things because I'd be on tour. I had to go make the money. And my wife was a full-time mom. My wife she's always been home as a full-time mom. And so, I was always on the road. So to have my son with me now, when we're traveling through Texas, and we're going out to get some breakfast in a diner somewhere, and then we have to catch a flight to the next city, and it's go, go, go. And then we get to sound check and then interviews and then the show. He's like, "Dad, this is hard work. You've been doing this for 30 years to feed us." He's like, "Wow." So he's seeing it and seeing the road with me, and I'm getting to groom him, for his career.
Yeah. And he has an understanding. He has an understanding about why you maybe had to miss a ball game or a play or a
Yes.
birthday. And now he kind of gets it that you weren't out there just, futzing around. You were out there working, bringing
Yes.
bringing home the bacon.
Right.
So,
Not. Yeah. Exactly.
yeah. So our girl Lita is on the record too. You
Yeah.
and Lita have this amazing connection.
Oh
She
yeah.
has spoken to me about you. You have spoken to me about her. There's just sort of this incredible rock and roll camaraderie and chemistry. There's this great, great chemistry. So talk to me a little bit about Lita's role in Avalanche.
Yeah. Unbelievable. I mean, Lita Ford and I have become such great, not just friends, but like she's like my soul sister, my musical soul sister. Like when we get together, it never fails that something amazing happens. Like we just, there's a chemistry that we have that I elevate her, she elevates me, she challenges me. Um, I've done a lot of interviews where people have asked me, what is it like to work with Lita Ford? Like everybody wants to know. It's awesome, because she's like a kid in a candy store. She comes in the studio and she's always so full of life. And the song "You Know I Would" that she sang on, I'd written years back for Lita with her. I wrote it with her in mind. And if anyone's out there read her book "Living Like a Runaway," she talks about her divorce. She talks about her children and not being with her two boys, and the hardship that she went through. And so I just thought about, everybody has a moment in life where if you could go back in time and take back what's mine and change what happened, I would. And so I just had that idea for a song, and I wrote it, and this came about, and I said, "Lita, would you sing this song on my album?" She came in the studio, and she started singing it. And I said at one point, I said, "Lita, I wrote this for you, right?" And she looked at me and she's like, "Oh my goodness, I couldn't." Now it hit her like in the studio what the song really meant. And then, we both kind of shed some tears. And then she rocked it, and sang it like I couldn't even imagine.
She
So
delivers that song.
yeah,
When I heard it and I said, I'm listening to it and I said, Gary always gets something extra out of Lita. There's something that you guys have together, and there's just always something that when I hear a collaboration that you guys have done together, there's always something that hits me and I go, wow. It's like the oh wow Lita Ford factor. And I'm a Runaways fan from when I was a 12-year-old girl and I saw Lita in the band and I was like, I want to be like those girls. They're doing bad things. I want to be like those girls. So I'm a Lita fan forever, but there's always something more that you seem to get out of Lita when you work with her, something a little extra.
absolutely. It's just that thing where I know her potential. And I've always done this with her from wait till you hear the new record. Wait till you hear what we just finished.
I'm excited.
She
Oh,
is singing like I've never heard her sing.
wow.
The guitar riffs are so crunchy. It's such a dark but uplifting record, and I always push Lita, and and that's what she likes about me as a producer. When we first started working together, I did not sugarcoat things. I didn't say, "Oh, that's okay, that's good enough." I always said, "Lita, you can do better," or I would say, "We've got that. Why don't we try to beat it?" And so she would try to beat it, and she'd say, "Oh, I can't sing like that." Oh, I'm like, "Yes, you can." And she underestimates how amazing she is sometimes. Like I'll be like, put a harmony on that. She's like, I don't know if I can do it. I'm like, you can do that. And then she just nails it. So it's making people feel comfortable, together. I try to, me and Lita make each other feel very comfortable in the studio. There's no boundaries. We just have a blast. And if she wants to do 10 takes, I'm like, Lita, take your time. Just have a good time.
And you know what she can do. She comes from a school that women were trying to get in. So we were always told what we can't do, what we can't do, what we can't do. And even though she's a legend, she was still told for how many years, oh, but you can't do this, but you can't do that, but you can't do this. And you're the guy telling her what she can do. And she does it when you guys get together.
Yeah, oh, totally. I lift her up like when we get together because I know I just know people, you can say something to lift somebody up or you can say something to pull somebody down in the same sentence and make them soar and kick ass by just saying, you know what? I know you can do it.
Yeah. Yeah. So in addition to your own tour, you're also out with the Lou Gramm All Stars. So what's that been like? That's got to be
That's been
fun.
that's been so much fun.
Yeah.
Playing with Lou Gramm, it's such a full circle moment because 30 years ago, when I first came out with my first single, which you played, you know, Hocus Pocus hit the radio.
Still one of the most fun songs ever to play.
It's
When I'm feeling wacky, I'm ready to play both versions. It's so good. I love it.
it's so fun, and so I was on tour with Foreigner, touring, and I used to see Lou every night, and we became sort of friends, and then didn't see each other for a long time. So I got a call from Tony Franklin, the fretless monster who plays bass with Lou, and he said Lou's looking for some guitar players here and there to fill in, and so would you want to do it? I said, man, yeah. So I got a call and then went and played with Lou, and then we're doing as many shows as he wants to do before he retires. I'll be there.
Oh, that's amazing. That's
But what about
amazing.
this one? How about this? All right.
Love
I
Blue
like.
Morning, Blue Day. Oh, what a
What
song.
about? What's a good one is I love that one too.
When I hear anything from that Foreigner debut, it takes me back, don't know why, to a summer day. I'm a kid and it's a summer day and those Foreigner songs are coming on. And man, there's nothing like it. One of the great, great debuts of all
Yeah.
time. Oh, that's got to be so much fun to be out there playing those songs. How cool is that? What a catalog. What an amazing, amazing catalog of music. So are we 30 years of Ho Ho Hoey? Is it 30?
Yeah, 30 years is coming up
Ay.
in this fall, and I have a list of new Christmas songs that I haven't recorded yet, And I'm going to put out a new Christmas album this year and take, some of the stuff that I've been doing, like Angels We've Heard on High and the Nutcracker Suite. I'll throw those on there, but I've got some really fun ones that I've never done, and I can't wait to put that out.
So exciting. And you were the guy, you were the pioneer, you were the crafter. There are so many that have come after you and tours and arena tours and all these bands doing the holiday thing. You were the guy. You were the guy that said, I'm going to make Christmas rock. And you've been doing it every year. I'm praying that we get a Jersey. Are we going to get like a Jersey date for this 30th anniversary? Because we'd love to
We,
have you here.
yeah, I know we're working on a date. I know
Okay,
there's a
good.
couple of dates we are working on. Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, good, good, good.
Yep.
This is going to be a great year for you. And my friend, you deserve it. A phenomenal new record, Avalanche. You got the famine. You are out touring, doing your own thing. You're playing with other people. We're celebrating the amazing joy that Ho Ho Hoey has given all of us. And I am just always humbled and so grateful to talk to you. Grateful for your friendship and grateful for the relationship you've had with us over the years.
I want to thank you. You too as well. I consider you a dear friend of mine, and it feels good to have gone through what I've been through the last few years, and to like you said, to be where I'm at now with things happening. New record for Lita Ford, new record for me coming, and just I feel so blessed and so thankful, and yeah, just to tell people out there, man, hang in there, whatever you're dealing with. Every setback is a setup for a comeback.
I love that. And I love you. Thank you so much.
Love you too, my friend.